Scuderi Clean Energy is a high-tech thermodynamic engineering company that specializes in developing clean energy systems for distributed power generation. We establish and manage power generation projects that help meet the need of the growing demand for reliable, low-cost energy while at the same time working to protect the environment. Our projects provide investors with a socially responsible investment that also has outstanding returns. This is the company's forward-looking statement for your review. The demand for energy is constantly growing. However, the demand for power must be balanced against the need to protect the environment. Today's renewable energy sources like solar, hydro, and wind are clean energy sources but only produce about 13% of the electricity required. Natural gas is the fastest growing fuel for conventional power generation because it is the cleanest fossil fuel, has a large supply, and is the lowest cost. Every energy source needs to be considered when trying to meet the world's growing demand for energy. However, the demand for energy needs to be balanced with the need to protect the environment. Scuderi Clean Energy has developed systems that make natural gas power generation systems cleaner and more efficient, and they can be used to supplement and enhance renewable energy sources. Scuderi Clean Energy has developed several products for the distributed power generation market. The distributed generation market is made up of a variety of small, grid-connected devices that produce power on a more local level. These systems are referred to as distributed energy resources, and they make up the fastest-growing segment of the power industry. Scuderi Clean Energy products are specifically designed for clean, efficient power generation and energy storage. In addition, our technology is protected with over 300 patents in over 40 countries. In the power industry, there are two types of power systems that utilize natural gas to produce electricity. One is a combined heat and power unit that produces both electricity and heat to be sold to an end user. The other is an independent power producer that produces electricity to be sold into the grid. The interesting thing is that even though both technologies utilize natural gas as the primary fuel and utilize engines with generators to produce electricity, the two systems never seem to cross. Combined heat and power systems are typically much smaller than independent power producers. They are designed around the heat requirements for a specific end user or customer, with the electricity as only a secondary benefit. The overall efficiency of CHP units is normally high because it uses a large percentage of the total energy produced, that is, both the heat and electricity. However, CHP systems are more focused on the use of the heat and are not typically designed to have high electrical efficiencies. High electrical efficiency is a key requirement for being able to profitably sell electricity to the grid. Therefore, CHP units rarely, if ever, sell power into the grid. IPPs, on the other hand, are typically much larger systems that are specifically designed for high electrical efficiency. This enables them to compete effectively when selling electricity into the grid. However, the IPPs never utilize the heat from the systems. The schematics shown depict a combined heat and power unit versus an independent power producer. These diagrams help to better understand both their similarities and their differences. You will notice that both systems utilize engines with generators to produce electricity. However, the combined heat and power system supplies both electricity and heat to a customer, but rarely, if ever, provides electricity to the grid. On the other hand, the independent power producer is designed to only provide electricity to the grid and does not utilize the heat at all. Scuderi Clean Energy recognized a niche in the distributed power market located between the combined heat and power systems and the independent power producers. By merging these two technologies, the Scuderi system can function as both a combined heat and power unit and as an independent power producer. Scuderi systems are typically larger than most combined heat and power units and smaller than most independent power producers. In addition, Scuderi Clean Energy systems are designed for both high electrical efficiency and for utilizing the heat from the system. By merging these two technologies, Scuderi Clean Energy has created a patented distributed power generation system that is a hybrid between a combined heat and power system and an independent power producer. This hybrid concept is able to benefit from the advantages of both systems while eliminating some of their negative features. One of the most significant advantages is being able to generate multiple revenue streams from both sides of the technology. For example, the combined heat and power systems have 4 different revenue sources. First, you have the electricity sales to the end user. Then you have the sale of heat or a commodity produced from the heat. Then you also have alternative energy credits, which are really state incentives for clean energy. And then you have accelerated depreciation, which is really a federal incentive for clean energies. The independent power producers also have 4 potential revenue sources. First, you have the electricity sales to the grid. Then you also have capacity payments, which also comes from the grid. In addition to that, there are the opportunity for transmission payments, and then finally, ancillary services. Achieving all of these revenue sources is only possible with the Scuderi Clean Energy patented design. The importance of multiple revenue streams is both intuitive and exciting. First, they act as a built-in hedge against market fluctuations. In addition to that, multiple revenue sources can have a significant impact on the bottom line of a project. For example, the Scuderi projects typically have EBITDAs or net cash flows of over 50%. This is very unusual in the power generation industry, which typically operates on very low margins. Also, multiple revenue streams help to ensure the financial stability of a project, and they also help to reduce the dependency on any one revenue source. All of these benefits help to make these projects very attractive to potential investors. In addition to multiple revenue sources, the Scuderi projects also represent a socially responsible investment. Because of their unique design, they have a significant impact on helping to reduce CO2 emissions. Also, because of their highly efficient design, these projects help to reduce the cost of electricity. And since these projects are distributed power generation sources, they help to protect the strength and reliability of the grid. This includes for both natural and man-made disasters. Also, because these projects produce clean energy with overall efficiencies above 80%, they qualify for both federal and state incentives. In addition to that, because they are distributed power facilities, they also help to create local jobs. Identifying and reducing risk is a major concern for financing of any project. The Scuderi Clean Energy projects are being funded by issuing bonds against the cash flow and assets of the projects. Risk mitigation for these projects is broken down into project structure and bond structure. As part of the bond structure, long-term power purchase agreements are in place to ensure the sale of power for the next 15 to 20 years. In addition, the customers taking the power are all highly rated customers with excellent credit. And all of the projects are wrapped in numerous insurance products that protect both the assets and the cash flow of the projects, including the use of business interruption insurance. The second area for reducing risk is with the structure of the bonds. All bonds are revenue enhanced against the top line revenue of the project. In other words, the funds required to service the bonds are paid before any other expenses or disbursements are made. This is done through a bonded third-party cash management agent. In addition, the bonds are collateralized against the assets of the projects, providing additional security for the bondholders. And finally, the bonds become tradable after 1 year, making them more liquid and therefore reducing the risk of the investment. We believe the bonds provide a very attractive return to investors. They are being issued in $10,000 increments with a minimum return of 12% paid monthly. They carry an upside potential of over 18% based upon the top line revenue of the project. The bonds have a 5-year maturity and are not callable by the company, ensuring the return to be there for the life of the bond. The bonds are sold through qualified broker-dealers and are traded on the NTREX and T0 exchanges. These outstanding returns are for a limited number of projects and are expected to come down significantly as the projects progress. For more information on this investment opportunity, please contact NTREX or the Scuderi Clean Energy Company. Thank you for your attention.